program contains some material that many parents would not find suitable for children under the age of 14. Viewer discretion is advised. That means if you're under 14, don't watch my shit. What's going on, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of Go Figure. I am your host, Seth. Thank you for joining me for another fantastic figure review. So today I've got for you guys the Mezco 1 in 12 Moon Knight. This review is made possible thank you to my good friends at ASO Figures. They were kind enough to give this to me at SuperFanCon to review for them on their behalf. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I will leave the link in the description below for you to check them out. I'll also leave their Instagram as well so you guys can also see what other kind of postings they have. They do anything from McFarlane Figures, Mezco, Marvel Legends, Hasbro, you name it, they do it. And they give it to you at a really good price, too. So make sure you go check out ASO Figures. So let's go ahead. Let's get this unboxed. Well, actually, first, before we unbox it, let me give you guys a good look at the packaging itself. So let's go ahead, and I'll give you guys a closer look. So as you guys can see, it says Moon Knight on the front with the Moon Knight logo. We've got the Marvel logo, and we've got the Mezco 1 in 12 logo. On the same thing, on the side, you see we've got the 1 in 12, we got the Moonlight logo, and Mezco Toys. Same thing on the other side. On the top, you can see kind of right there the spot varnished 1 in 12 logo. And then on the back, you can kind of see the Moonlight and the accessories and everything comes with, and some glamour shots. So, with that being said, let's crack this open, and let's do a figure review. Alright, so let's go ahead and take this out. So we'll slide the cover off. We'll keep this to the side. As you guys can see right here, here's the figure. It's got the stand, it's got some accessories, some hands, and some swap out heads. So let's go ahead and slide this out. Alright, so as always with these, they give you a product care sheet just to give you some information on how to take care of the figures. God forbid something happens. I mean, honestly, these figures are like $100. If you're really that careless with them, clearly you've got a problem. Just saying. So let's go ahead and start out by taking out the bottom, because there's always stuff here at the bottom. So it looks like we've got some lines with some clips right there. We've got the stand. We've got a bag that holds the accessories. We got another attachment right here. So yeah, I don't even know. I've never even seen these before, these lines in here. I wonder if they're just to help with like doing some kind of like dynamic posing or something. So we'll just keep that to the side. We'll see if there's any kind of instructions in here or anything like that as we dig a little deeper. So let's take the cover off. And of course the hands always have to pop out, so we'll put that to the side. Take out the plastic. We'll remove the figure with the cape, which is kind of cool. So let's dive into the accessories real fast. So as you can see right here, I guess this is some kind of like piece that might go around his neck. Probably around this, I guess, which is probably like the hood when it's taken off. We've got the additional head sculpt right here. So, looks pretty cool. I mean, look at the detail on that. The detail on that is so sick. He's got the scar. His eyes all black and blue. So he's got another scar right here. So that is actually really cool. Great detail on this sculpt. And as you guys can see, it's, you know, regular closed fist. These actually look like it has like a little bit of like a metallic sheen almost to it, which is actually really, really cool. And then we've got an open hand, same thing with the paint. The metallic finish on it looks really cool, and I'm just dropping stuff so it's okay. So open hand, and then we've got another hand right here with claws actually coming out of it, which that is actually really cool. But again, also that metallic finish on it, which is super, super cool. Then let's see what we've got here. We've actually got some weapons with some chain. So this chain right here, that is actually real metal, so don't be confused by that. And these points are a little on the sharp side, so be careful, but the detail on these things, as you can see, are really cool. Let's take out the other accessories. So we've got like a staff, got some more points on it. Like I said, these are pretty pointy and a little on the sharp side, so make sure you are careful with that, especially if you have small children or anything around where someone can get hurt. So this is really cool. And last but not least, they've got another chained piece, obviously with another one of those pointed engines, and it looks like a grappling hook or some kind of claw, almost like a scorpion thing where he's like, get over here. So pretty cool. And again, the detail and the paint on these pieces are actually really, really nice, and it's polished too, which gives it that metal effect, even though it's not metal, but still really cool. And then last but not least, we've got the base right here with the Moon Knight logo on it. It's polished, so it's real shiny. The logo itself, the moon, is a matte finish, so again, really cool. So with that being said, let's dive into the figure. Alright guys, so here it is, the figure itself, and I've got to say, getting a close look up on this thing like I am right now, this thing is freaking amazing. It is really cool. The cape itself is like a leather, so it actually is going to be pretty durable. It's not something that, you know, would break very easily like a plastic, or I don't know. I've never really dealt with capes too much when it comes to figures, but you know, this looks like it's really good quality, so I would say it has to hold up. Now, this piece right here, the head, this helmet actually does come off, and you guys can see a better look at the sculpt, and man, that looks super cool. Those blue eyes right there, man, they look like they tell a story, and maybe a story I don't want to be part of. So let's go ahead and put the helmet back on, and the helmet itself is plastic, but it definitely, you guys can see, it definitely has some texture to it, which is really cool. I can tell just by looking at this, man. I mean, you guys can tell they really went all out with this figure. This white, and it's like a pearlized almost too. This is freaking super cool. This figure just looks awesome. Got the logo on the chest. It's part fabric, it's part plastic. Kind of like, almost kind of like the Cyclops, the way it was, but it looks like this has a little bit more flexibility with the articulation and everything. Alright, so let's go ahead and, after looking at the detail on this figure, I'd have to say it is really cool. Let's get into the articulation and see how the articulation works. So for the most part, the arm goes out pretty well. Let's see how it does get a little tight right there, obviously in the armpit area because of the cloth on the suit. So I wouldn't recommend trying to do a full 360 with it. But you guys can see it goes up and down pretty well. The elbows are double jointed, which is really cool, as you guys can see. Get it in the camera. The wrist, there's not much pivoting on the wrist. Doesn't pivot up or pivot down, but it does do a full 360. Same thing on the other arm, obviously. The wrist doesn't pivot up or pivot down, but it does. The wrist does do a full 360. As far as the leg goes out yay high. It goes back. That's about it. The knees are double jointed, which is really cool, because then obviously that helps with posing. But again, I don't know about, you know, the hindering of the leg so much, so I don't know exactly how much posing you could do. As far as the ankle goes, there's not really much pivoting on the ankle. It just pivots up a little bit and down a little bit, and it doesn't really have much of a 360 to it. The head itself doesn't really go up or down, because obviously the cape kind of hinders that too. So there really isn't much articulation with this figure, which is a little disappointing. But again, overall, I think the figure itself is really cool. Alright guys, so after taking a look at the accessories and reviewing the articulation itself, I would say I'd have to give this a rating of, I like it a lot. And based upon that rating, why you ask? Well, because there's not much articulation with it. And I feel that, again, same thing like I did when I reviewed the Cyclops. The fabric kind of hinders the rotation on the arm. The legs don't really go back all that well. But overall, though, I would have to say, if you're going to put it in a museum pose, it is definitely a figure worth getting. It is an awesome figure. The pearlized white paint on it just makes it really stand out, especially if you have in a lighted display and it really hits. It just looks cool. The sculpt is really cool, and I really think it is a really cool figure, and I really think it is an awesome piece that everyone should own. So with that being said, again, I would like to thank our sponsor for this video, ASO Figures. Again, I will leave the link in the description below for their website. You can go check them out. Also, I will leave the link below for their Instagram, as they do post daily about sales and specials and new products that they've got coming out and pre-orders and things like that. Again, they range from anywhere from Mezco, Marvel Legends, McFarlane Figures, Hasbro, Black Series, you name it, they probably can get it for you and at a really good price. So again, make sure you check out ASO Figures. Guys, that's going to wrap up this review for this week. I hope you like it. If you guys like what you saw, please be sure to give a thumbs up. If you're new, please be sure to subscribe. As always, be sure to hit that bell so you get notified every time another episode of Go Figure gets uploaded for your viewing pleasure. As always, you can check out all the excellent content we offer at mcecentral.com. And until next time, guys, go figure.